Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a topic that seems simple but has a profound impact on our health. Is loneliness. Do you know that? Feeling lonely is harmful to your health. It can be as bad as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, loneliness is more than just a bad mood. It's also a serious health problem. It affects millions of people, including some of the most influential people in history. Please be sure to read to the end, because I will not only explain how loneliness quietly affects everyone, but also share some practical scientific strategies to fight loneliness. Finally, I will tell you about two historical giants. The story of how loneliness can be transformed into strength. You definitely don't want to miss it. So what is loneliness? Many people think loneliness is just being alone. But it's actually much more complicated than that. Loneliness is not just a physical isolation from the outside world. It's an emotional emptiness. Even if you have someone around you, you can still feel lonely. You can feel lonely even when you are surrounded by people. I see the pain of loneliness all the time. It can be as torturous as physical pain. If it is not treated, it may lead to serious psychological problems. So loneliness is good for our health. What kind of risks does it bring? Dr. Mercy, the director of the U.S. Department of Health, once said, "The problem of loneliness has become an epidemic. Almost half of American adults feel lonely every day." From a clinical perspective, loneliness is not just an emotional problem. It is a serious public health issue. Studies show that loneliness can increase the risk of premature death, increased to 26% to 29%. This harm is almost as great as smoking and obesity. In addition, it will increase depression and anxiety, the risk of cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, heart disease, and stroke. I often see loneliness in clinical practice. Our health problems become more complex, difficult, and hard to treat. Some friends confuse loneliness and solitude. In fact, solitude is healthier. We all need to be alone. Being alone is giving yourself time and space. It is time and space for yourself. This way we can reflect and recharge. It is a chance for growth. But loneliness is different. Loneliness is a very negative emotion. You have a deep sense of emptiness, of being rejected by the world and the people around you. It is very important that we understand this distinction. That being alone is healthy and loneliness is harmful. What causes loneliness? It can be divided into internal and external factors. External factors, such as moving, changing jobs, transferring schools, losing a loved one. These are all external reasons. It will cause you to feel lonely. The internal reasons are more complicated. Some people are depressed. They have social fear and anxiety. Others have serious inferiority complex, feeling that he is not good enough, feeling that others are constantly judging him, so he doesn't dare to interact with others. There are also some people who are born to be more introverted. Some introverts don't care whether they get along with others or not. But there are many introverts. They actually want to have friends, to have a social circle. If they don't have one, the feeling of loneliness is very strong. When we are middle-aged and elderly, retirement, loss of partner. Some people even lose their loved ones. All these will seriously increase our loneliness. So the consequences of loneliness are very serious. For example, when people are lonely, it will develop bad habits. Smoking, drinking, overeating, etc. Some people, under the pressure of loneliness, will make some wrong decisions. In addition, loneliness will change the function of our brain, including a decline in cognitive ability, increases Alzheimer's disease. That is, the risk of early-stage dementia. In addition, loneliness increases the risk of depression and suicide. People with a strong sense of loneliness, they often eat unhealthy food, poor sleep and lack of exercise. Finally, it affects overall physical and mental health. So each of us must treat loneliness as a serious threat to our health. Let me give you a few examples. Let's look at how loneliness affects them. Ms. Johnson is 76 years old. She lived alone after her husband passed away. The children were also far away from her. She gradually became more and more lonely. She was depressed and unwilling to go out. Her cognitive function began to decline. After the doctor noticed this situation, he suggested that she get some psychological treatment, participate in some activities at the senior center. She was quite resistant and resisted at first. But once she started, she found that this had a great impact on her life and health. She found friends and fun again. So for middle-aged and elderly people, you must find people who share the same interests with you. You can communicate and exchange ideas. A group that supports each other. Another example is 18-year-old college student David. I just left home to go to college. Maybe my friends don't know. This is a huge change. The psychological pressure it brought to us is beyond our imagination. So when he arrived at school, he found that the study pressure was very great. Although the school had various groups for activities, he didn't even bother to participate, because he was worried about his studies and homework all day long. After receiving counseling from the school's psychological counseling center, he began to realize, no matter how heavy his academic workload was, no matter how worried he was about his grades, he still needed to have extracurricular activities and a circle of friends. After some adjustments, he slowly adjusted to college life. Let's look at Sarah at 35 years old. She is actually we all look very enviable. A white-collar worker who performs very well in the workplace. Works very hard. She has very good grades. But deep down in her heart, she is very lonely. Because apart from work, she didn't have time to do anything else. In this case, she developed some bad ways to relax and have fun. That is, eating snacks and drinking alcohol. As a result, she became fatter and fatter, getting more and more tired. The efficiency of work is also declining, until she found that a lot of her work, she couldn't go on. In this case, she sought help from her doctor. The doctor helped her balance work and career, and healthy relationships. Let's be honest. Our bodies are one of the most important tools we have at work. If this tool is broken, no matter what job you do, there will be no good results. So a person's economic status and work status are actually an important reflection of his health status. In history, there are also some famous people who suffered from loneliness, but they were able to turn it into an opportunity for growth. Let us take two examples. One is Mahatma Gandhi. In his long struggle for freedom, he felt increasingly lonely, because he was on a mission that seemed almost impossible to accomplish. Although there were many people following him, but when he was imprisoned, still feeling isolated and helpless. So what did Gandhi do? He used this time to think deeply, to strengthen his personal spiritual practice. It strengthened his belief in nonviolence. This inner strength ultimately helped him realize his ideals. Another person is Abraham Lincoln. He is one of the most respected presidents in American history. His life was filled with loneliness. Although he led America through very difficult times, and he himself suffered great personal loss and isolation, but he turned this loneliness, developed a deep sense of empathy, strengthened his determination to unite the country. His story can actually tell us, loneliness can also be a source of strength. Loneliness is not just a problem for middle-aged and elderly people. It is also common among young people. A 2019 survey found, among young people aged 18 to 27, 25% have severe loneliness. 22% said they have no friends at all. So they are becoming more and more dependent on social media. The sense of loneliness is increasing. So it seems that our world is becoming more and more connected through this social media. But people's hearts are increasingly far away and increasingly lonely. So how do we deal with this loneliness? As a doctor, I have some suggestions for you. First, you should participate in community activities. Whether it is participating in community service or finding someone to do something that you have common interests with, these can all help you meet new friends, build meaningful relationships. Also pay attention to the quality of your friends, not the quantity. Don't pursue making friends for the sake of making friends. I feel anxious and depressed when I can't make friends. In fact, it's not about the number of friends, but about the quality of the friends. Make 1 or 2 good quality friends. Like each other. Trust each other. Just friends who can communicate with you. The other thing is to change your mindset. Actually, making friends is just like finding a partner, is just like finding a job. It's just a fit. Like a key. Like a lock. If you hit it, it's easy to open the door. If you don't hit it, it's not suitable. Then it doesn't matter. In fact, it depends on you personally. It has nothing to do with anyone else. There is no need to feel rejected or feel inferior. Then it is fate. It would be best if we met. Naturally generated friendships are the best. The longest lasting. When you feel extremely lonely, you must reach out to your family and friends, because at this time, they are the ones who can help you the most. Everyone will feel lonely due to changes in the environment. Increase our sense of loneliness. In this case, you must seek help from family and friends. Of course, some people feel that help from family and friends is not enough. Their own loneliness has seriously affected their work, study and life. You should consider seeking help from professionals. In short, loneliness is a serious health problem. We must take it seriously. If we handle it well, it is also a source of health and strength for us. I hope this video will be inspiring and helpful to you. If you like it, please don't forget to like, forward and subscribe. You are also welcome to share your experience and insights in the comment section. Share your experience and insights. Ask your questions. Learn about the world and protect your health. See you next time.